Why are foreigners so afraid to do things in Korea? I'm going to tell you why. You might see so many stories of people saying, like myself included, oh, I didn't want to cross the road because nobody else was crossing. I didn't sit in that seat because nobody else sat there. I ate my food in a certain way because everybody else was doing it. Anyways, you get what I mean, right? I'm going to tell you.
But I think that's smart, though. I think you're supposed to kind of, what Koreans call have nunchi, and just follow along. That's what I did in my survival months when I first came to Korea, just following what everybody else was doing.
You guys why people do that, okay? If you've never lived in Korea, you may not know this. You may not have seen this or experienced this. But if you do something wrong, if you do something out of character, if you do something Koreans don't like, they're going to say it. They're just going to say it. They're going to say it in front of everybody. Not going to be polite about it. A throwback story. My first week or two on the job, usually in a Korean workplace, everybody has lunch together, it's served together, and you all have it together on the tray. Now, I didn't know that there's a specific place to put rice, there's a specific place to put the soup or whatever. I'm not Korean. I'm not born and raised in Korea. So I didn't know that. And for a week or two, obviously I was doing things, whatever. And honestly, it didn't even register to me that everybody was putting their rice on the same side. I just didn't. Anyways, then it got to maybe the third week, and we're queuing up and we start putting the things on our tray. And as we sit down in front of everybody on the table, my coworker goes to me, "You're so weird." What did I do? What did I do? Why do you put your rice on that side? I'm just looking at her what are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? Maybe my tray is dirty or something, and she's telling me don't put the rice there because there's something on your tray. So I'm looking at my...
She's right. She's right. Koreans will... But notice that she said it took 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks. So they were tolerating you putting the rice on the wrong side for 2 weeks. I have a couple things to say about this. Living in Korea for well over a decade. Number one, she's right. I'll give you a backstory. When I first came to Korea, I worked in a elementary school. Had a wonderful co-teacher. This was well over 12 years ago. Still in contact with her to this day. She's retired. And I was losing some weight. I was a little bit heavy. I was losing some weight. And she noticed that I was losing some weight. And she looked at me our relationship is fantastic. She looked at me dead in my eyes. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, Ade, you're losing your weight." I'm like, "Thank you." She's like, "No more beer belly." Right in my face. And then that's when it kind of just clicked to me. I don't think it's rude. I think this is just how Koreans communicate. My dad is Nigerian, my mom is Jamaican. Jamaicans, the nicest, rudest people you will ever meet, but they're so kind. But they're so rude at the same time. And I guess growing up in that kind of culture where it's not gentle, you get roasted every day. So coming into Korea and getting some of those shots, it was easy. Super easy. Another thing is, foreigners always complain, not her, and this is not directed to her, but foreigners always complain, "Oh, I live in Korea for so long, and no matter what I do, I'm considered a foreigner. I'm not considered Korean." Do you want this kind of treatment? They tolerated her for 2 weeks and called her out. If you're Korean, they're calling out any kind of nonsense within a split second. And all she did was put the rice on the wrong side. So imagine what Koreans are dealing with on a daily basis. And you as a foreigner, you want to be Korean and deal with all of that? Nah, I'm all right, man. I love being the foreigner in Korea. I love being the foreigner friend in Korea. I always try to price match energy. I never try to take full advantage of things because I always like to, I believe one hand washes the other hand. But foreigners need to let go of this. I can never be considered fully Korean. I'm considered an outsider. You're much better off. Trust me.
Tray, what's wrong with my tray? And she just goes, no, in Korea we don't, that's wrong, okay? You have to, and she explained, I honestly don't even remember now, but there was a specific side for the rice and the soup, whatever, she explained. And I was like, oh, okay. Thank you for telling me. Like, I'll do that from now on if that's what you want. But I just thought the way she embarrassed me in front of everybody on purpose. Nobody at my table that I sat with every day seemed to care, okay? That woman that pointed it out to me, I was just like, why do you care? You wanted to let me know, fine. There was a way to do that. Just imagine walking up to a foreign person that is not from your country, not born and raised in your country, is working their hardest to try and get on with everybody and learn the culture and the language and everything. And you go up there in front of everybody and go, you're weird.
But imagine how they treat other Koreans. At the elementary school, everybody was treating me so nicely because I was the foreign teacher. And one of the Korean teachers, by the way, this Korean teacher, she was not fully in the union. She was a contract teacher. So there was a little bit of like, not hierarchy, but a little bit of tension because she's on a contract and she's not part of the union, which was like everybody else in the department. And she came to me and she's like, everyone treats you so nice because you're a foreigner. Right? She's like, it's kind of racism. They never treat me like that. They never treat me so nicely. And by the way, she was so nice to me as well. She wasn't trying to like throw shots at me. She was just speaking her mind. And guess what? She's right. She was right. Absolutely right. My friends tell me all the time that Koreans are racist against Koreans because when they hang out with me, I tend to get some special privileges. And they're like, oh yeah, when I go out, my Korean friends call me. Because they want to hang out with me because they know that it's easier to hang out because, you know, how I move and whatnot. And I get some benefits of being a foreigner. And as a Korean, they can never get that.
Where else in the world, and that would be so unacceptable. But for some reason, you know, that kind of stuff is okay there. Kind of like sat with me. And I do my best, like now in Korea, like I will always do my best to like not attract attention and just watch how other people do things so that I don't stand out again. And the thing is, that is not an isolated incident, okay? These kind of things happen to foreigners every day, everywhere. It doesn't have to always be your coworker. It can literally be a stranger on the street. I remember my friend one time got yelled at in the street. Okay? She was eating like an ice cream at the bus stop. She wasn't even like sitting at the bus stop. She was standing to the side of the bus stop, okay? She was just eating her ice cream, like on a stick. And this woman starts yelling at her that she's creating a mess and she shouldn't eat ice cream at the bus stop. And my friend is looking at her like, I'm nowhere near.
Because Koreans don't do that. You wanted to be Korean, right? Again, I'm not directing my anger at her. I think she's a very wonderful person. And I love this video, by the way. But most foreigners, oh, they don't treat me like a Korean. That's the treatment Koreans get. And she's right. She's right. I was on the bus one time and I thought, like, this was like one of the terrible experiences I had in Korea, and I wasn't even involved in the actual experience. I'm on the bus, and you know, in Korea, there's not much heavier people, but there was a heavier woman on the bus. Like, not Korean heavy, like maybe American style heavy, but she was Korean. And one ajashi, man, yo, and this time my Korean was like 0, and I understood everything. One ajashi just let her have it, pointing at her face, her belly, her thighs, back to the belly, then to the thighs, then to the face, just letting her have it about her weight for like a good amount of time. You want to be Korean? I'll be a foreigner. I'm alright, man. I'm alright, man. Because you're not gonna get berated as much as bad as you think you have it as a foreigner. Koreans have it worse.
Hey, you. The bin is right next to me. When I'm finished, I'll put my stick in the bin. Like, what is going on here? She's going in on her, just some random old busybody woman. Meanwhile, there's other people at the bus stop also having beverages and snacks and stuff. My friend is thinking, why are you attacking me? So it's because of things like this that foreigners are extra careful about things they do, because they will not be nice to you. They will not be polite about it, and they'll make sure that everybody sees and hears.
I really appreciate her perspective and sharing her experiences. And a lot of the things she's saying is true. You will get called out first. Sometimes like things are happening and like she said, everybody's drinking, everyone's doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, quote unquote, but they'll get at the foreigner. I think the reason why Koreans do this is because the Koreans know they're not supposed to be doing that, right? But they want to let you know that you're not supposed to be doing that. If that makes sense. Is it right? No. But I think that is what they do. Let's jump into some of these comments. It's called controlling or passive aggressive. I agree. What country does not have controlling or passive aggressive people? And again, I always say this. Korean culture is very intense. Whatever they do, it's very intense. Drinking, intense. Work life, intense. Driving, intense. Studying, intense. Love, very intense. Passive control, aggressive, could be very intense. So it's just in their culture. Here's one thing that really helped me in Korea is I take nothing personally. I don't take anything personally. And when something happens like this, I call it a file. Just file it in my brain for my future experience and keep it moving. Helped me tremendously along my 13 years here. Another comment. The random rules sometimes make me laugh. Respecting culture aside. When people try to embarrass me or call me out, I come back even harder. And not in a passive aggressive way, but in a very direct American way. I do not have patience for disrespect, regardless of what country I'm in. Totally agree. But I don't think they're being disrespectful. I don't think. I'll give you another story. This is not my story, but one of my friends has a big dog. And if you know anything about Korea, Koreans are not dog people. Don't make them fool you. Koreans are not dog people. Koreans are cute dog people. Only small ones. That's it. Koreans do not get down with the big dogs at all. That's how I know they're not dog people. In America, Canada, they're dog people. Ugly dogs, small dogs, big dogs, medium-sized dogs, fluffy dogs, any kind of dogs. In North America, they love. Korea, small, cute ones. That's it. Anything else is dangerous. Anyways, he has a big dog. And of course, somebody in the park, hey, you got to wear a muzzle, blah, 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 blah. So my friend already knows the rules. No, I don't. My dog's under a certain amount of size. He measured him. He did everything already. No. I'm going to call the police. Call the police. The police came. The police came, and it was a female police officer and a male officer. And the female police officer saw the dog. It was like, oh my God, the dog is so cute. It wasn't small, but I guess she liked bigger dogs. Long story short, dog was fine. The Korean guy, who was super aggressive, apologized to my friend. And they're friends to this day. This is how I know, like, sometimes the vitriol, it comes off as vitriol. It comes off as, like, super aggressive, like, super direct, super, like, you're against me. Sometimes people are just having a bad day. I don't know. My perspective. You let me know your perspective down below. As always, I link the original creator down below. And if you want to keep up to date with what's happening in Busan, Seoul, and beyond, sign up to the free K360 newsletter down below. Also, in Busan, we are having a Busan Day cheat party. The day party happening at the Bay 101 on May 30th. Click the link down below to find more details. See you in the next video.